I already forgot our own song. Good
I
morning,
think you're
everybody.
singing the UMCOC podcast theme song. Is what
Oh,
you
is
just
that the wrong one? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show.
We're having technical
Cindy,
difficulties this morning.
Cindy took all of our intro tapes. I don't know what
Cindy took all of our intro tapes
Yeah,
because she was pissed because we make fun of her all the time. So now we
mad.
can't get them to upload this morning. We couldn't get the new
Yeah,
ones to
I
upload.
don't
They've already
know.
deleted
I
the
don't know
old
what's going on.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the show. This is your two dads every morning, Monday through Friday. Deacon and I meet. We drink coffee. We talk about Cindy and her nasty predilection for putting stuff on her feet, and we talk about news, media, politics. I don't know what's just stuff. We talk about stuff, and you know what? It's so important that you're here, Deacon. It's so important. I was talking about this last night at dinner. Because you know I've been talking about this unlock the brain and like literally generate a positive reality for yourself, and that's what we do here every morning. Because normally, before we ever did this show, it is what we do.
I didn't know
Before
that.
we ever did this show, you spent 30 years being at the radio station by yourself. You just talk to your audience, talk to yourself, and sometimes I know it.
Well,
sometimes you're Mr. Bah Humbug, sad pants.
I haven't been by myself for 30 years, but now I am.
Yeah.
I used to have morning show co-hosts, plenty
Yeah.
of those. I don't like working with other people. Imagine that. It's a little known facts about your buddy Deacon.
Do you guys know Deacon is on this show almost against his will?
I like talking about
But we meet here every morning and we talk, and sometimes we start with like, I barely even want to do this. And then, usually by the end of the show, we have at least one good laugh.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, like every freaking morning, there's a certain spot in the road that I get to that I'm just like, my brain's like, I don't want to do the show this morning. I'm going to text you.
I know.
I just don't feel like doing it this morning. I want to get my shit done, and I don't want to talk. I don't want to do any of that crap. Every morning, just about every morning.
I know. I know.
You know me.
But by the end of the show, almost always by the end of the show, you have had a little bit of a good time, and your day is better because of it. And that's true for you, and that's true for me, and that's true for our millions of listeners, our enormous audience.
Maybe not millions, but like
hundreds
of thousands of listeners.
I might be
viewers.
It's so difficult to really know the extent of the reach.
Yeah, we can't tell. How many we have. So
and I don't want anybody to feel left out.
Yeah, we're just assuming it's hundreds of thousands. I don't want to assume millions.
Good morning, Deacon. How are you?
Tell me about excellent.
Yeah, you having a good morning?
I guess no, not really, but
okay.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to. I'm trying to have the power of positive thinking, JJ. My side effects from my medicine's been messing with me, and
I know,
messing with my stomach, and I've got this sour, bubbly stomach right now. That's just kind of. It sucks. So it's just a side effect of my medicine. It's not a big deal.
Is your nothing's changed, but for the last couple of weeks, something's changed, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's body getting used to the medicine or the moon phases or fucking Jupiter.
The planets could be in alignment. They could be in like a right angle alignment.
There's a really interesting. I watched a really interesting video on that. It was really interesting about how that shit lines up and can mess with you.
Electromagnetic.
45 seconds before I've got to get to.
Let's go. Do music songs.
I got to talk over here. So let's get to the song of the day. Song of the day this week. If you go to our Discord channel, and you'll go and you'll scroll over and it says Deke's playlist, and it's got a couple of eighth notes right there. You'll see all the whole huge playlist, and I'm adding a song right now because this week we're doing songwriters, and I thought, well, let's just do country music songwriters and maybe songwriters that you've never heard of, and maybe you've heard of this guy before. But this guy just passed away a couple of years ago as well. John Prine. Have you heard of John Prine?
I could not say that I know his name.
You may have heard a couple of his songs. Have you ever heard? You might not have heard of Muhlenberg County.
I'm listening to the.
Okay, so Angel of Montgomery was made famous by John Prine and Bonnie Raitt. Bonnie Raitt sang a version of this song that got real famous. John Prine, what else would you probably know by John Prine? Illegal Smile, Sam Stone, Dear Abby. Any of those sound? He is an
Nah.
unbelievable songwriter. He's like it says
Oh,
right here.
oh,
He was one of the most influential songwriters of his generation, and he's been referred to as the Mark Twain of songwriting. This song, Angel of Montgomery, is a beautiful song. It is just so good. He sings it, and the
this
first
is
line
good.
is I am a young woman or whatnot. But when a woman sings it, he's got a very unique voice. All of his songs are super freaking awesome. John Prine, is our song of the day today, "Angel of Montgomery." So there you go.
Wow, I like this.
I've
It's
got to
got
talk.
kind of a. It's is it kind of bluesy? Is it kind of uh that's good. That's interesting. Angel from Montgomery. Okay. All right, everybody. Today is
What'd you say? You
oh,
said
I was saying I was trying to just like, is it kind of bluesy or a little bit folksy?
folk.
How
He's
would
a
you
folk.
just
He's kind of a folky.
yeah,
And that folk you kind of do fit into. I mean, country come from blues.
sure.
Country
Yeah.
music come from blues, rhythm and blues and gospel. So I
There's a
mean, yeah, that's why I've tried to change my radio station over the years. I was sitting here one day and I was playing like I don't remember who it was. It was like Clint Black's version of Desperado by the Eagles. And I'm sitting there
yeah.
listening to it and I'm like, I ask myself, why in the hell am I not playing the Eagles version of Desperado? And I started thinking about it. And the reason is because some asshole 20 years ago said, this is called classic rock and this is not country. That's bullshit. The Eagles are country as anybody, as Eddie fucking Rabbit or any of this bullshit that I play on here. Shania Twain, who is the queen of country pop,
Uh-huh.
she is one of the biggest selling musical
Right.
artists of all time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's not country. She is more pop. Carrie Underwood is not country. She's pop. And I've had
Right.
to argue with people over the years when they're like, oh, country is too pop and I don't like this new stuff. They've been doing this shit for fucking 50 years. Okay.
Yeah.
They've been doing country pop for 50 years. The country music songs that I play on here, I can pick out the country pop songs. I just played an Eddie Rabbit song a minute ago, and that's country pop more than any country. So I've started adding songs to my
Right.
playlist that we've been told over the years were classic rock, but they're not classic rock.
Well,
Leonard Skinner is classic rock, but some people will say it's Southern rock. And some Leonard Skinner songs are straight up country songs. So
I
I've
mean,
changed
these
my radio station's definition,
these
and it won me
you
a fucking
know,
award. I got radio station of the goddamn year
yeah,
and DJ of the year. Thank
yeah,
you. I mean,
award winning show host.
I've been
He
doing
knows what
this
he's talking about.
experimenting with this format for about 5 or 6 years, going against my fucking bosses, going against everything that's been taught for decades in radio.
Ooh, I have a
And I
question.
won a fucking award for it. So I mean,
How how do you okay, so I like this song. I like this song. I'm whatever's going on here. I dig that.
yeah.
What how do you as a person on the radio, how do you get feedback from your audience in terms of whether or not your audience is growing? Like, how do you know what you're doing is resulting in growth?
Educated guesses.
Just get yeah. There's no
They're
hard
they're
data. There's no way to
educated.
survey.
Yeah, I mean, you can survey, but really, is it really? I mean, and they
Yeah,
do this thing, they do the phone surveys. And I mean, how many people really do phone surveys? I argued with our owner a couple of years ago about this, about how he was like, what do you think about ratings? And I'm like, 10, 15, 20 years ago, ratings mattered in radio, but they don't anymore.
yeah,
No, he did not like my answer. And I was trying to explain why I felt that way, and he did not like because he's old school. He's been doing radio for the same way for 70 freaking years. He
right,
don't want to just 60 years. He don't want to change. All right.
right.
But we had to change, and I had to forcibly force change, you know. And like I said,
So,
I mean, I got
David,
recognized for it.
David's asking what makes a good country song, and I don't know, but what does make a good country song, and what makes it a country song?
That's hard. It's defined by anybody that likes country. I mean, I love the song "Run" by George Strait. All right, "Baby Run." He's talking about how he misses his girl and he's wanting her to come back, and it's kind of a melancholy, kind of a morose type of kind of a and Ashley fucking hates that song. She hates it. And I'm like, man,
Is it
the first
is
time I
it
heard that song on country radio when I was working on the big country radio station and that song came out years ago, first time I heard it, I thought, man, that's a fucking number one right there if I've ever heard it in my life.
no?
I've got a song that in my playlist right here that is from a local guy. All right. It's called Billy Audrey. He wrote it. It's about a man coming home and finding his wife cheating on him. And then she runs off with the guy and he goes down road to perdition, basically. And then the third verse is he finds him years later and gets his revenge, and it was a wonderful freaking
That's
song.
terrible.
Well, great song though. It's a story.
Yeah.
So he
So
comes.
is
Not
it
all stories are freaking happy endings.
Yeah, it's not stereotypes per se, but like,
What
themes that are is it that the theme is it the themes that make a country song? Is it that they
how it
are
makes you
stories
feel
about
and how it makes you feel. Like
mm,
people would say, "He Stopped Loving Her Today" by George Jones is one of the greatest country songs of all time. Well, why is that? If we think about it, it's because it tells you a story about a man who's died and he loved this woman until the day he died and talked about her until the day he died. And it makes you feel a certain way. It makes you, even though you might not have experienced that yet, it makes you be like, oh, that was really
okay.
good. There's
I
a
don't
song
know.
by
It's worth
Kenny Rogers. There's a song by Kenny Rogers called "The Greatest," and it's about a little boy who goes outside and he throws up his baseball and he swings and he misses. Strike one. So he does it again. He picks up his baseball and he throws and he misses. And and every time he misses, he says, "I'm the greatest, no matter what. I'm the greatest baseball player that's ever lived. I'm the greatest." And he strike one, strike two, and he throws up the baseball. And man, he swings with all his might and strike three, man. And he's like, man, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest baseball player. And I sure didn't know I could pitch like that. And that's another one that's just like,
okay.
that's a
Yeah.
great song because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So it's different for everybody. Every single person's got a different.
Oh, you missed me. We have an early morning showstopper.
Oh,
Why did you miss me?
Because they were celebrating their birthday.
Oh, I was out celebrating my birthday. It's been almost a month since my birthday, but we're still celebrating it. And we went out last night to Kirby's, and we went to a tasting. And Mom and Felicia and Dad went out to dinner. So who did you who put you to bed last night?
Miss Jennifer.
Miss Jennifer, your old teacher from your school. Was it nice to see her? Did you miss her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Daddy, is tomorrow Miss Jennifer gonna do?
No, she's not coming back for a while. Okay, it is not even 7:00. You need to go back to bed until your alarm goes off.
that big yawn.
It
Such
never
a little
even
girl.
goes off.
You go back to bed until your son comes up. All right. I'll see you in a little bit. Close that door. No playing. Go to bed.
Oh, dude, that was the cutest. That was the greatest thing. You need to take this video and clip that freaking section and put that on to keep forever because that's the cutest thing that I've ever heard, man.
Yeah.
I miss you. Oh, I would keep that forever.
Oh, hey, that's why they're on rumble.com where they will never get taken down. On YouTube,
super
very likely we have a
sweetest, man.
Our entire channel will get nuked.
That stuff like that makes my day.
Yeah, I know.
That's great.
Oh,
I love
what that's better than talking to me every morning is seeing my little
darling
girl.
I was talk to Lily.
All right, let's get into the news. Let's talk about the news.
Don't you see how excited look how excited I am when you start the show, and then look at how excited my face
I'm telling you, we are rewriting reality right now. Every morning, it's good for you. All right, let's start with today I didn't even get to the title. Guys, today's title Today is what is today? Is today Wednesday? It's Wednesday.
I'm gonna flash you, JJ. Get ready.
Okay, here it comes. Today is Wednesday, June 14th. It's today's title. Based Biden. No Man-Tits at the Rainbow House. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We missed it.
You missed it.
Oh.
Well, that's a little
Biden is based. Who'd have
sugar
thunk
for
it?
some of you people this morning. That's right.
Joe Biden has declared that he will never invite these trans activists that showed his tits at at the White House on the White House lawn. Oh, I can't believe it. I don't know how to present this story. Because I don't want to show the boobs. I don't want to show the boobs. So I'm just going to go with the title. I will not scroll on this one here. But Deacon over the weekend, because it's Pride Month, the White House gussied up their the White House lawn. They put rainbow lights across the White House, so it's the Rainbow House. They violated U.S. code and hung a Pride national flag on par with the United States flag.
Yeah. I just like to point out what some other people that I've seen before because I think this is fucking ridiculous. All right. So all you fucking gay people watching and whatnot, I don't give a shit who you have sex with. Your fucking flag should not be alongside the United States flag. Period. It shouldn't be flown on government fucking buildings. It shouldn't be flown anywhere government. I don't give a shit how you little fucking faggies walk around and do whatever you do. I don't give a shit. I don't care about them. I don't fucking care about gay people. All right. You can fucking live your life and do whatever the fucking fairy little fucking shit that you want to, but you do shit like this and you're going to get you want us to respect you, then act like it. Act like it. When you get up there and do shit like this, what do you think that we're going to think about you? That you're a fucking piece of scummy fucking trash, just like any other fucking person that got up there and done that. All right? This is fucking ridiculous. Our country is a goddamn joke. I sat in here and argued with my old history teacher yesterday because first of all, he owns this building. He comes over and talks to me some days. Yeah. And he was one of my favorite history teachers in high school. It wasn't until I got out of high school when I realized that he really doesn't know dick about history. And the only reason he was my favorite history teacher was because he let us do whatever the fuck we wanted to. And we really didn't learn anything. So I know a lot more about history than my former high school history teacher. And we were sitting here talking about Trump yesterday and all this shit. He is a closet homosexual, has been a closet homosexual his whole life. The whole fucking community knows it. He will not admit it because he comes from that era where you had to be closeted and stay the whole time. He was fucking he dogs everybody. He is so far fucking left that it's oozes out of his fucking pores. And he come in here yesterday and I had to sit here and listen to him sit here and dog Donald Trump and talk about how he's never done anything good for this country and whatnot, and talk about all this.
Remember all those wars that Donald Trump started.
So it's just Biden and this pride flag on the government bullshit and this fucking guy showing his fucking fake breasts. And
okay. All right. So let us agree, first of all, out the gate, pride flag does not belong on the White House lawn.
Absolutely not. It doesn't belong on any fucking government building.
In the same exact way that the Confederate flag does not belong on the White House.
Exactly. You're coming from somebody that is a huge Southern pride person. I have a battle flags at my house. Absolutely. It should not be flown on a government building either.
Texas flag should not be on the White House.
No.
I love Texas more than you love, I don't know, maybe your kids. The Texas flag does not belong on the White House.
People from Texas do love your state like your mom. It's like when y'all are born, do y'all have to pledge allegiance to Texas before your mom? Does Texas like give you milk before your mom does?
I'm pretty sure there's an allegiance to Texas. Let me just check. If so, I might start doing it again.
People are weird. I mean, I like Kentucky, but I don't like it that much.
Pledge of allegiance to the state flag of Texas. Hell yeah, I'm gonna get into that after the show.
Y'all are
All
culture.
right, all right. So Rose Montoya, a biological man who believes he is a female, attended the White House Pride event and was featured in a video in which he showcased his fake tits. I'm sorry, his fake breasts. Other trans activists, women that believe they are men, also flashed their bare chests showing scars. That's why I'm not going to scroll on this video. It's not appropriate for this guy in the white dress right here. It's not appropriate for this guy. It's not appropriate for the woman that thinks she's a man. It's just not appropriate. Okay. Is it against the law? It is not against the law. Law is not what defines mores, what defines cultural norms. It is against cultural norms, not law, against cultural norms for men or women to be walking around bare chested or breast out on our nation's capital. Montoya covered his fake breast nipples as he shimmied for the camera in his white dress. Oh, God, I hate covering this stuff. I wish this stuff.
Have to.
I mean, like, why is this
move
stuff
on.
news, man? Like,
We can move on.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on. We're far enough in the show anyway. So,
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Biden, the pedophile. And that's something that I told that my former teacher yesterday. I was like, I'm sorry, President Biden's a pedophile. And you can't, he was completely shocked by that. No, he's not. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, have you read, will you just read his daughter's diary? Just read it. And I'm sure you'll say, oh,
Yeah.
that was fake and made up. And what, you're going to believe him over her? We just had a terrible discussion yesterday. It was just banging your head up against a wall.
Okay, so before I move on, I do need to cover the reason why this is news is because it is people like Rose Montoya are out there saying, "Oh, conservative backlash." My shaking my boobs on screen is being used by conservatives to attack LGBTQI. No. Joe Biden, his White House put out a statement. The White House put out a statement that says this behavior is inappropriate and disrespectful for any event at the White House. And these individuals will not be invited to future events. The White House did that, not conservatives, not Republicans. Okay, Biden and the Biden White House. And you know what? You hate Joe Biden. I despise Joe Biden, and that was the right thing for the Biden White House to say.
Absolutely, it was. That was the exact right thing to do. And I can't believe they freaking done that. Yeah, credit where credit's due. I can't believe they've done that. I can't stand Joe. I loathe him.
Right.
He is a disgusting devil, demon, human being. Right. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. Any person that acts like that around children, you can't. Yeah. I'm sorry. The man is
all right. It's not. Anyway, that's so that's why it's news. The White House, the leftist White House, is the trans movement stuff has gone so far that even the leftist White House is like, can't have that. Nope. Gonna nope out on that. All right.
Well, JJ, and if I wanted to get you used to being around snakes, all right, and get you used to being around snakes in the house all the time. So if I put a snake in your house, your family would be freaking out, right? If you live with a snake.
Yeah. I mean,
all right. So in order to get you used to living with the snakes, in order to get you used to living with the snakes, I'm going to get some little harmless lizards first and let the lizards roam around the house. And then we might get a bigger lizard and whatnot. You see what I'm kind of doing here?
It's like you're grooming. You would be like grooming me to get used to me to being around snakes. Is that what you're saying?
Grooming is the new word that they've invented and have been using for the past, 10 years or so, but that has been around forever, that type of psychology or whatever. But yes, that's exactly what is going on. It's exactly what's going on. And
we got comments over here.
You get used to seeing this. You get used to seeing this. You get used to seeing drag queens read children's stories. You get used to reading about it in books. And that's the first thing. That's the lizard in the house before you get used to the fucking snakes. I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. Are you saying Joe Biden's maybe a lizard person, though? Might be a lizard person. He's disgusting. All right. Yesterday, I'm not going to make big news about this, but we're going to acknowledge it. Obviously, the federal government has indicted Donald Trump. Yesterday, Donald Trump was arraigned. He pled not guilty on 37 counts of hogwash charges. This is entirely, everybody knows, it's not even in dispute, except maybe you're a gay building owner history teacher. Everybody knows that the Biden White House department is weaponizing the Department of Justice and the FBI and law enforcement in order to attack Trump, in order to prevent him from running for president. I'm not even in the bag for Trump. Currently, I think that he's probably the only candidate running that's got the sack to maybe deconstruct a totally corrupt Washington. I have very little faith in DeSantis at the moment. I think he doesn't have the juice, and nobody else that's on the field. I don't think anybody else on the field has the juice to get people to show up and the conviction to dismantle what is an obviously corrupt federal government. So I don't know who else I'm supposed to go with other than Trump at the moment. But the Biden White House, Department of Justice, is absolutely weaponizing law enforcement in order to prevent a political rival, to actually prevent a political rival from running for president, which is exactly what they accused Trump of doing with the Ukraine investigation. And on the Ukraine investigation, we have apparently there's supposed to be some tapes out there that literally have Joe Biden on phone calls, but I don't until those manifest, I don't know what's going on there. So yesterday, Trump declared himself not guilty, and Karen Gilbert, who's one of the lead prosecutors on the charges, apparently is I lost my tab. There it is. Is one of the lead prosecutors in the special counsel Jack Smith's attempt to convict former President Trump of mishandling of White House documents, is also a campaign donor to Barack Obama, Joe Biden, the Democratic National Committee, according to the FEC filings. And what is most interesting is that this Gilbert is also controversial for, at one time, once being reprimanded by a federal judge for secretly recording a defense lawyer and his investigator. So we have a seemingly corrupt POS prosecutor on Team Destroy Trump. So that is happening right now. That's about all we have to say about the indictment until the case goes to trial. And, the whole thing is lawfare. It's just to tie up his resources so he cannot effectively campaign. This is not right. This is, and everybody, whether you hate Trump or not, you ought to be against the federal government being weaponized against people, because if it's weaponized like people like Donald Trump, who has resources and power, what do you think's going to happen whenever you cross somebody's line? You don't have that kind of, you don't have any kind of defense like this. So it's just wrong. Tucker Carlson had a new episode out yesterday, episode 3 of his show on Twitter, America's Principles Are at Stake. And he covered this topic of the law enforcement being weaponized against Donald Trump.
His argument was that Trump said some stuff about Iran back at a stump speech, and that's what killed him. That's what got them to be like, he needs to shut the fuck up because he's damaging. So I mean, what's the deal with? I mean, why can't we say anything bad about Iran? I mean,
Iraq weapons of mass destruction. Remember when
he was talking about Iran?
Oh, really? Was it Iran he was talking about? I listened to it this morning. I might be mistaken. I think the transcript is here. So Trump might be the only guy out there that is basically being honest. we were all sold a bunch of bill of goods about weapons of mass destruction for Iraq. I don't know what we were told about Iran, other than the Ayatollah wants to destroy the great Satan and stuff like that. But we have these political class in our country that profiteer off war. They have every incentive for us to go into Afghanistan, go into Iraq, go into Syria, go into Libya, go into Ukraine, and blow shit up, sell more bombs to the military, funnel that money right into their pockets. We have a war machine. And, Donald Trump's the only president in like 50 years that did not start a new war. Joe Biden has got us on the brink of World War III with Russia for fuck knows what. Slava, Ukraine. Okay, man, whatever. All right. So, Tucker's point is that because Trump was out there not, partaking in the war machine, that is why he's being targeted by the Republicans and the Democrats and the establishment and the media. He is, which is why I think maybe he's the only guy. I don't know. All right. Anyway, Tucker's episode's out. If you're not following Tucker on Twitter, if you're not on Twitter, Tucker is enough of a reason for you to go get on Twitter and just follow Tucker and follow these episodes, because might be the only guy in media that is fair and tells you something that's true. All right. What else can we talk about? Deke, I want to. I don't think we have any. Are we out of the political stuff? I want to talk about this because I don't think you know. You said you didn't know about him before this show.
Yawn. Okay. Boring. Some random guy dies, and we're gonna fucking take 5 minutes to talk about him. Okay.
All right. I'll just mention it. Cormac McCarthy, a legendary American author of No Country for Old Men, All the Pretty Horses, and Blood Meridian.
That's why you're putting him on here, because you got all of his bull.
The Crossing.
That's why.
And The Road, dude. The Road. This book is so good. Yeah, he's the kind of American author that writers that want to grow up and write the great American novel. He wrote all the books that are the great American novel. So Cormac McCarthy dead at 89. We don't have to talk about it that long. You haven't seen No Country for Old Men? Wow. And it's directed by the same guys that did.
I'm usually one of those people. Was it the Coen brothers? I'm usually usually one of those people that when the media and everybody in the world is like, "Oh my God, red shirts are the coolest thing, and I love red shirts." I don't fucking buy a red shirt, dude. I get a blue shirt because I
defiant.
Everybody's like, Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise is the best, and Top Gun 2 is the best movie in the whole world, and it changed my life.
Deke,
I really
Deke, in this book, Tom Cruise dies 6 times.
Yeah, I bet.
You should read this book. He definitely
then I'll look
dead.
it up on Wikipedia then.
Oh, shit. All right. Jeremy says The Road is great. Jeremy, I have an extra copy of The Road. When I went to go grab this stuff, I was like, oh, I got 2 of these. Okay. And by the way, Jeremy, you need to read Hunter Ninja Bear. I want it back. Okay.
Okay. Maybe I'll look up The Road one day.
The Road is good, dude.
What's it about? Road, asphalt, some guys laying asphalt.
It's about a dad and his kid, and they're the only ones left.
Yeah,
they're the.
I watched a movie like that called The Mist, and it really fucking sucked. So I probably won't read The Road then. Haven't we talked that you've made fun of me in The Mist several times? So yeah. I
didn't make fun of you. I just tell you I love The Mist.
I know.
If you don't like the way The Mist ended,
the worst movie in the history
might not like.
That's why I'm not reading The Road, you asshole.
It might pull your heartstring. It might tug on your heartstrings.
The Mist did not tug on your heartstrings. There was no heartstrings to tug on with the end of The Mist.
The Road might.
The Mist just basically put a fucking gun in your face and blew your head off at the end of the fucking movie. Literally.
No. I'm gonna let me revise. at the end of the mist, he did that because he loved his
Oh,
family, but
Jesus
he
Christ. You
was
don't have
wrong.
to
He was wrong.
explain that
No.
stupid fucking movie to me. I understand the writing behind that movie. It was shitty
Yeah, right.
writing.
This
It
is.
was terrible.
I'm saying this.
It was terrible.
I'm saying the road. The road is a story about a man and his kid, and this man will do anything to keep his kid
Okay.
alive. Anything, and it's pretty harrowing. Okay, what else do we have here?
Oh, Jeremy's got a good you ain't getting your book back. He's got a good excuse. In the middle of Diablo 4, as a
Shit.
video game
It's like-
aficionado and a Diablo Lord of Destruction granddad from back in the day that I've bought the game like 15
Yeah.
fucking times.
Isn't that game like 120 hours long?
Diablo 4,
It's-
I have been told, is pretty fucking nice. So,
Oh,
and there's
man,
no
that's
micro.
never
Jeremy,
happening.
from what I've been told, was that there's the microtransactions are not in this game.
Yeah.
And I was like, really?
It-
That's kind of appealing.
Am I wrong, or is it not always this is the story of Diablo. Oh, we need somebody to help us. Go down in that hole. And then you go down in the hole and you whack stuff, and then your hands are full. So you go back up to the village, and they're like, "Oh, that's great. Can you go down in that hole?" And then you go down in the hole and you hit stuff, and your hands are full. You go back up to the village.
Yeah,
Isn't that
it's
the story
basically
of
that.
Diablo?
And then you come back and they're like, "Oh, our stuff's missing. Can you go down in that hole? But where it was over there last time, it's not there anymore. So you got to go fucking look for it
Yeah.
again."
I think it's farther down the
Yeah.
hole. Just go down
somewhere. But when you get there, it's going to be the
that's
same hole with the same people. It's just a different map. No, I
Right.
love Diablo.
Yeah.
I've always been.
Yeah.
I've always been. I'm
People,
playing
I haven't played
I'm
Diablo.
playing a. I played Diablo Immortal, but it's great graphics. It's freaking wonderful.
Is that out on your
Yeah,
phone?
yeah, and it's great. It's absolutely wonderful. But don't download it because the only way to play that game in advance is you got to play it with people all the fucking time, and you got to spend shit fucking tons of money because there's 90 million fucking things to level up and get, and but it's fucking awesome. It looks awesome, and I played it for a long time. I got a very high guy on Diablo Immortal right now.
There's only 5 classes in Diablo and only 100 levels per character, and he's got to 62. So I'm going to get my book back in a few years.
I'm playing a very similar Diablo-like game right now on my phone. It's called Dragon Air, HEIR, Dragon Air.
Okay.
Silent Gods. It's very much Diablo-like, except it fights for you, and it's very D&D-ish. They made a Diablo game based on D&D. So there's places like when you will walk, you'll get a chance to roll a D20 to check to see if you'll find a hidden treasure chest or to see if you'll pass this intelligence check or something. So it's pretty interesting.
Speaking of D&D, for those people who didn't show up yesterday, D&D and Deacon, I want to pimp your book, the MK Shadows of Sporos. Is that how you say Sporos? Deacon wrote a D&D extension, guys, and it's about. It takes place in like the Magic Kingdom,
the Mushroom
and
Kingdom.
he did Mushroom
So
Kingdom.
it takes place in
Mushroom Kingdom.
It takes place in the Super Mario world, in the Super Mario worlds, but it is like a lifelike. It's not the cartoony. It's a lifelike D&D world, but the world's been changed. A wizard took over and released a basically like a cordyceps virus that infected the denizens and the locations and the floral and the fauna and everything, and it just kind of turned it into kind of a post-apocalyptic landscape. So I've changed up some stuff too. Like that's one of the Goombas. And I just experimented with making them, instead of like the little bitty things you see on the screen, more of a human type, a different race.
So I threw a link at you yesterday, Deke, and I don't want to do it. I want you to
told Ashley, and it's like $22 for one.
I think that's production, maybe shipping or something like that.
For
so
one.
I promise you, if you I would, Normally, I would just take the thing and like, oh, let me go set this up and go set this up. But no, I want you to do it. I don't want my name on it. I want your name on it. You set it up, make it whatever size, whatever size book it's supposed to
I do.
be. I will buy one, and we will show them on the store and the thing. And because let's get some real ones, and you can teach me how to play D&D.
I can't sell these. So what creators do like me is we create stuff and then they sell it to people. I'm a part of some of these stuffs, and they sell them for like $9-10 a piece, these adventures that I make and whatnot. I give them away for free. I've always given them away for free. But I don't, and my son was telling me, he was like, you need to set up a Patreon so that these people that like want to help donate to some of this stuff, because I can't sell this, because that's what my son, Deacon, was like, why don't you sell this book? Why don't you sell this one? And I'm like, I can't sell this one because I don't own Mario and Princess Peach and Bowser, and that stuff's all copyrighted. So I can give it away. I can give all that stuff away, but I can't sell it. But if I had a patron be like, hey man, here's a few bucks for being awesome, I could get away with it that way. But I don't give a crap. I mean, it would be nice to make a couple extra bucks, but
let's
wait, Billy.
Okay, so we have to now this is, it's not like you're doing a straight adaptation. You're doing like D&D plus Mario, and there's like Creative Commons stuff.
Yeah, and I've taken it and changed it a lot, because King Koopa and Bowser in my world are two different people. In the regular Mario world, it's one person. It's Bowser. He's the King Koopa. But in my world, they're two different entities.
I'm not an expert on this stuff. If you think that there's like copyright issues,
I'm not an expert either, and I've wondered if I knew somebody that knew a lot more about that than I do, that could talk to me about it.
I don't know. Maybe we set this up and we print some.
I don't want to sell it though. I would just like to have a copy of it to have on my bookshelf, just as something that made this. This is something that I do for my hobby. Okay. And I actually enjoy going home, sitting down in front of the computer, turning on, I'm currently on Star Trek Discovery season 4, and I like watching, or I like creating this stuff. It's fun for me.
Deke, I have an idea. We'll okay, let's print up some. Maybe we'll print up like 10, and we can set up the Discord. I can set up a what do you call it? A subscription on Discord, and then if somebody does this subscription, they get a copy.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, I want a physical copy. I know you probably want one too. So we need to sort it out.
I got a couple stories before we go. I got two.
Yeah, let's get her.
All right. Here's my first one. This was cool. I love language, and I love studying about how language changes, because it doesn't take very long for words to completely change their meaning. And the English language is a crappy language, and you're fixing to figure out how stupid the English language is, JJ, when your girls start spelling. When your girls start getting into phonics and spelling, you're going to realize just how stupid the English language is, because you teach your children to sound it out and spell it a certain way. And then when they do that, you have to go, no, that's wrong because that's a French word, or no, that's wrong because that's a Latin word, or that's a freaking word.
The K is silent.
So that's a word that we've borrowed from somewhere else. So linguists have identified that a new English dialect is emerging in South Florida that is a mixture between Spanish and English, basically, which you think, oh, okay, that's coming up. That's been around for a long time. But no, it's like this. We got down from the car and went inside. I made the line to pay for groceries. He made a party to celebrate his son's birthday. Now, they sound a little weird, don't they? But it's a literal interpretation of the Spanish words. It's not Englished out, okay? It's literal interpretations of the Spanish words, which I understand what he means. He made a party to celebrate his son's birthday.
Right.
I made the line to pay for groceries. Yeah. So it basically, this article is very interesting because it has to tell you about the English language, first of all. And the English language was a language like 900 years ago, all of the aristocrats spoke French. Okay. So,
Okay.
so the commoners spoke this English language, but the commoners would pick up the words from the French, and they would use them in everyday life because they had to work with the aristocrats. So they would have to know what they're saying. So when they would talk to each
Okay.
other, they would say croissant. They want the croissant. They would add
Croissant.
words from French to the English language. Some
Right.
words like prince, government, administer, liberty, court, prayer, judge, justice, literature, music, poetry are all French words that we borrowed for the English language. Pajamas is a
Okay.
Hindu word. Gazelle is Arabic. Tsunami is from Japan. All right. So we have these loan words that we have in the English language. Loan words.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's basically doing the Spanish people and the Cuban people have been doing this since the 1960s down in Florida. And it's taken, 60 freaking years for it to become the norm. So this it is a very interesting article about Kalik. Yeah, Kalik. There were literal Kaliks. Let's see. For example, we found people use expressions such as get down from the car instead of get out of the car. This is based on the Spanish phrase bla bla de carro, which translates for speakers outside of Miami as get out of the car. But the Behar means to get down. So it makes sense that as many Miamicans think of exiting a car, they think of terms of getting down and not getting out. So when you say get out of the car, they're not thinking get out of the car. Their term is get down from the car. So their word is get down from the car. So when they translate it, it's going to say get down from the car. And it sounds weird to us,
Right. Yeah.
This was another good one. I didn't know about this. Kaliks are all over the English language. Kaliks are a borrowing. Let's see. Dandelion. Dandelion is a kalik. This flower, a
Okay.
dandelion. It grows all over Central Europe. When Germans realized they didn't have a word for it, they looked to botany books written in Latin where it was called dens leonis, or lion's tooth. The Germans borrowed that concept and named the flower Lohenzahn, the literal translation for lion's tooth. The French didn't have a word for the flower either, so they too borrowed that concept, lion's tooth, caliking it as dent de lion. The English, not having a word for this flower, Jesus fucking Christ, heard the French term without understanding it and borrowed it, and now it's called dandelion.
So, okay. So this is not the first time that we've had like a dialect emerge in English. I mean, there's probably a number of a number of kind of ways for people to speak in English, but the common constraint that we all have is that eventually, at least I'm going to categorize here the middle class people in any community group that uses a dialect like that eventually have to start writing in a professional environment. That could be writing emails, that could be
But that changes. That stuff changes, JJ. What we considered a professional letter is not the same as it was 80 years ago, 100 years ago. All right. I mean,
Right.
dialect changes, and even like
that's true. That's true. But if you're writing like a letter, or if you're writing a document or a memo or an internal corporate document of some kind, and you don't conform to proper English, if you continue to use like these colleagues or these phrases or whatever that are non-standard, it's not that like you're gonna fail out, but people that can utilize English properly will ascend faster. That is the constraint.
I think you're right, and because I think you're looked down upon. when you don't speak
Well, I
correctly.
mean, like if you're like a middle class manager and one of your people hands you a memo and it's like I got down from the car and it's written like that, you'd be like, can you rewrite this? Or you might get somebody else to write it.
Oh, yes.
My wife, for instance, is a professor and she has to write uh, emails and memos, and whether when they're on committees working together or when they're write a letter of recommendation or other kinds of professional writing. Um, and there's an expectation that it's going to conform to the norms of the English language. So this kind of like uh, not invalid, but this colloquial type of communication, it just isn't appropriate in a context like um, you know, letters of recommendation or a memo to someone else on a
Oh
committee.
yeah, I mean, if
So
you
I think that it's going to be the middle class that has to start doing professional writing that's going to conform back to standard
Yeah, but
English.
I mean, like I said, it changes and words changes and
Sure.
change and the things change because we have a lot of
All
people in
right.
this country now that are bilingual than they were before,
Oh, for sure.
and we have a lot of people that have changed, that they have changed
And
phrases
sometimes
and words.
definitions of words
Yeah.
change. Like what is a woman? Like right now, we just don't even
So
know.
seriously, but seriously,
Yeah.
I thought this was a good article. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it's good. Um, I mean, I honestly didn't know that it was. I mean, I didn't know that there was something emergent different than what is already emergent in the communities that speak English and Spanish. Bilingual. So this is like a different fork of that, but it's Cuban Spanish, perhaps. I don't know.
Excuse me.
Okay,
That's what you
all
get.
right. You got any more stories? We skipped over the Nashville shooter. Let's do the Lord of the Rings. We may do the Nashville shooter autopsy
The Lord of the
tomorrow.
Rings one I just brought up because
We talked about it months ago.
yeah, there was for those, well, just to refresh you, Lord of the Rings or the Magic the Gathering is doing Lord of the Rings cards series, and they thought, well, let's just do print one of the One Ring card. So they're only printing one ring card. There's only one that's distributed in packs, and there was a guy, a big Magic the Gathering guy, that was offering $1 million for it. And then he went back on his $1 million offer and offered 500,000. And he said he was going to offer 500,000 so that whoever opened the ring, he would give you $500,000, and you and him would take that card and you would go to Hawaii and you would drop that card in one of the active volcanoes, like like the ring in the movie. And I thought
Right.
that's really cool. The person that opened it still gets some money. That guy gets some notoriety and whatnot. Well, since nobody's found the freaking card yet, other people are like, no, y'all can do that shit, but I'll give you 2 million. It went up the other day to 1 million, like last week. But
Oh,
anyway, this
really?
Spanish gaming store says it's offering 2 million euros for the card, which translates to about
2 million
2.1
euros.
million. The shop is even
Wow.
offering to fly whoever finds the card to Valencia and pay for their accommodations, something the last bounty didn't offer. This is a limited time offer. The card must be in good condition for the bounty to be valid. Of course, if someone came in contact with that card, you'd hope you took good care of it. So, all I'm saying is that
How do you even play
if
this
you're
game?
what?
Like, how do you find these things? Like, what are they in? Are
I
they at
think
Walmart?
that's what I was getting at. I think they are in where are the Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering packs for the One Ring? I think they're just in blister packs.
What's a blister?
They're just a little bitty collector booster packs. All right. Yeah, are you retarded? What the fuck?
I haven't bought any of
One
this
Ring
stuff in
card
like
can be found in the
decades.
collector booster packs. Can only be found in the
Booster.
collector booster packs. So you'll need to tailor your search around these packs if you want a shot at claiming it. So if you're standing there at Walmart and you happen to look over and you see some of the little collector booster packs of the Lord of the Rings one, you might want to try it. You might want to buy
Yeah.
some. You might want to buy the box. It might make you $2 million richer, or you might not, because there's only
Maybe I'll
one
do it
of
today.
them. There's only one. And JJ, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to even try to buy one because
No, you're
I
not.
was a Magic the Gathering player when it first came out on Alpha.
You're gonna get hooked again.
I was on Alpha, Beta, Ice Age, and Arabian Nights or whatever it was called. I was on all of them. I loved that shit. I got out of it years ago, sold all my cards. All right. Made some money off some of those cards that I sold too,
Yeah.
some of the old rare ones. I almost bought the Forgotten Realms D&D Magic the Gathering cards. I wanted a whole set, and I almost bought the whole set of the Forgotten Realms D&D Magic the Gathering cards because I wanted them so freaking bad. So I'm not even going to try to buy one of these because if I do, I'll be like, I want the whole set. I want the whole set. And I can't have the whole set, so I'm not even going to buy one pack.
What if I buy some and just open them tomorrow?
Do it. I'm not buying them.
And then like on the show, like, oh, maybe this is it.
Good luck finding some.
I don't know where to buy.
You have to go to a comic book shop.
I have no idea.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So here I'm going to throw this up here so you people that haven't joined our Discord server now can all you have to do is just
come hang out with us
and it'll join the Discord server. You can join, you can make fun of JJ's beard, you can do all kinds of good stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Fun Slingers. That's because Mr. E came up with that name when we were looking for something because I didn't want to be such a narcissist as to call it JJ's Discord server. But currently it says Your Two Dads. I don't know. I may need to shake it up. I may need to reframe it a little bit. But yeah, go over there, join, come talk to us, post jokes. Oh, you gave me the joke cue. I forgot about the joke cue.
Yeah.
Deacon.
I'm sorry. I was looking. Sorry, I was trying to find a good joke. I didn't have one ready. I apologize. Yeah.
Deacon, I thought of this joke entirely on my own, and so I'm just going to read it to you, okay? Why did the cookie call an ambulance?
Why did the cookie call an ambulance?
It felt crummy.
You made that one up. What did the DJ hold the record for? Because he didn't want to drop it, dude.
Oh, that's terrible. That's not good. Second try. Second try. All right. What do you call a duck that gets straight A's?
I don't know.
Wise quacka.
All right. I'm never donating money to anyone collecting, or I'm never donating to anyone collecting money for a marathon again. All right. They just take the money and run.
Oh my God. These are terrible. You know what we need, Deacons? We need some help. We need people to show up and submit better jokes. All right. That's it. That's the end of your best day ever. Today is going to be a great day. We should have called each other. Today is going to be a great day. You're going to make it a great day, Deacon. You're going to make today be a great day for yourself. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I like playing the curmudgeon-y guy.
The other day, Brian told me that he likes to wait till the end of the show afterwards because sometimes they can see his dance.
Oh, really?
Because I didn't push the end button.
That's pretty